It's about every pretty face with a nice voice ready to take my spot.
What on earth are you talking about?
I saw the way the crowd looked at her. Made me feel... what? Small. Just something I never felt on stage before. That scared me.
You out of your mind? You know who you are and what you've done? Listen.
It's about...
Hey.
There we are.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Christina, and I'm here with the guys themselves, Chris Carmack and Sam Palladio. How are you guys?
Doing good, thanks.
Yeah,
How you
great,
doing?
cheers.
So tell us all about that clip. Alana's causing some drama this season on Nashville.
Ooh, Alana. Beautiful Alana. Yeah, definitely.
The siren.
The siren of the band. Yeah, she's kind of turned up and yeah, just caused, well, one, made some beautiful music, and but two, has sort of tugged at Gunner's heartstrings.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can't resist a talented lady.
Not at all.
Like her, with her purple blonde flowing hair.
Yes, definitely. I just want to remind everybody that Chris and Sam are going to be with us talking all about the show. We have a fun little Nashville game coming up, so please send us your questions and your comments. So is Gunner going to fall in love this season? He's going to go out with a bang?
Well, yes, there's a big explosion and everybody. Yeah. Well, he's definitely fallen for her, and you know how the dynamics work when you work closely with somebody, you're trying to make music with somebody, or you know, feelings and professionalism sometimes make for tense environments. So there's definitely a bit of drama coming along
Sure.
for the new band that Will's kind of in the middle of as well.
Right.
Yeah, it's not just Alana bringing drama to the band. I mean, this is the first time Will and Gunner, actually Will and Avery and Gunner have done it before, when it was the Triple
true,
X's. But you get Will in, and he's a big personality with, you know, a sizable ego. And all of a sudden, there's, in addition to this new girl, we've got Gunner and Will arguing about what songs we're going to play and what the what the vibe is going to be, what, you know, how we're going to end the set. And these are arguments we've never seen happen in this bromance before.
Sure,
So.
Yeah.
Is that going to cause the end of a friendship, or we have to wait and see?
You have to wait and see.
Yeah.
No, I mean it's interesting putting four artists together and seeing how exactly the four creative minds conflict.
Yeah.
And
And
I don't know if it'll be the end of friendships, but it's certainly a bit tense.
Yeah, and it's. I think as creative people, they also recognize that this is what happens when you put them together in a room and try to create something. I think they don't go to a place where I really hate you and I really hate you.
And then Will is also dealing with kind of the drug-related storyline that you have this season, which is kind of taking him to a little bit of a dark place.
Yeah, it's taking Will to a dark place. He's you know, he's had this breakup with Zach, which has hit him in a sort of unusually hard way. And not long after he broke up with Zach, he runs into him at the backstage of the Bridgestone, and there he is with his new beau, this young hunky guy, and it gets Will in a very sort of self-conscious place. I don't think he's ever been before about his body. You know, he's getting older. You know, he's been living in Nashville, eating that barbecue.
Yes.
You know, and you know, he's finally he's feeling his age. So he starts relying on some illicit substances to try to get his old self back, his old body back, and his self-image is distorted. We've got that lovely scene on the tour bus where he catches himself with the shirt off in this like warbly reflection that's sort of meant to exemplify a little bit of body dysmorphia and how he feels about himself.
Sure.
And, yeah.
Was that a challenge for you this season? Taking your character
Yeah, well, you know, I actually had to lose some weight and hit the gym. That was, I mean, the whole barbecue thing, that strikes a chord, you know? I'm like, I know about the barbecue. That happened.
He put some work in, though, because we were doing some scenes. I was like, damn, man, you look good. We're doing a scene where, like, he's, like, Gunner comes out of his, bedroom, and Will's doing, like, chin-ups, and the line was something like, oh man, I couldn't even do one, and then I think I tried, and I don't think I could. So, so he put some work in. So I wish I had the that story.
Right. Stephanie is asking, what are your plans after Nashville is over? So sad it's ending.
Oh, thanks, Stephanie.
Yeah,
Well,
we are too.
Yeah, you know, it's incredible. It's been 6 years. You know, it's a very unique thing actually for actors like ourselves to be involved in a project that lasts this long, that you get to tell these stories over that amount of time, and also it really becomes part of our lives. It's not just popping in to do a guest star on this one episode of this and that. It's become our lives. You know, Nashville, the city, has become our home. So
not to mention being able to make music.
well,
Yeah.
You know, which for every one of us I know was certainly more than a hobby and a passion, but now it's become, you know, a part of what we do for a living. We're able to tour, we're able to put on shows and play at the Opry, play around town, play gigs. It's a much more substantial part of my life.
Yeah. So, you know, it's a new phase coming up, so we're all trying to figure it out ourselves.
Right.
You know,
What's next?
who stays in Nashville, where, you know, what's next. Of course, you know, there's so much talent on the show, and I think a lot of us are going to properly pursue music outside of the show. And also, I guess it's, you know, the scripts are coming in for the next project.
Right,
So it's,
on to the next
it is an
one.
exciting time.
Yeah.
But,
It's sad too, I'm sure, because you guys have become a family over the course of these past 6 years.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true. This is probably the first project I've worked on that has been so lengthy, so that I do feel, you know, so close to my fellow actors and our crew, and you know, it's the first show that has really become my life, my waking life. I go to work, I see the people I know, and I see them around town, and man, it's gonna be tough.
It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caroline is asking, who writes music for the show? Is it a team of people?
It's a team of trained monkeys, actually. No,
Very
sorry,
talented.
Caroline. No, yeah, we've got some of the best songwriters in Nashville. Actually, are working on the music for the show. We do writing camps every year where Frankie, our music supervisor, invites some fantastic writers. And the cast, incidentally,
Yeah,
we've all
absolutely.
been a part of that as well.
I'm pitching a couple of songs at the moment. You know, it's a cool environment. You know,
awesome.
they really do use a lot of local Nashville writers and actually writers all over the States, to be honest. And you know, as far as, you know, back in season 1, we had sort of Elvis Costello writing songs for the show, and you know, Steve Earle's writing songs for the show, and just like some super heavy hitters. So, but they like to pull new young talent, and you know, it comes down to writers will send in, you know, polished, fully fledged songs, but they also pick from the simplest sort of iPhone recordings if it has some heart to it and it captures what they're looking for. So,
and they have to search through a sea.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So many.
Because it's not just a song. Like, the vibe has to be right. The you know, the tempo has to be right. The lyrics have to reflect something that's going on in the scene. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a monumental task.
Right.
Yeah.
It's science. Kept
Yeah,
down to
it
the
is, it
science.
is.
Paige is asking, will you guys ever make albums?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Chris
That's the plan.
Chris did a great EP a couple of years back, and I'm working on new music that's.
I've been
on
telling
its
him
way.
to get, you know,
I know.
release your music.
It's a funny thing.
He's got like full-length albums.
I
like,
I do. It's
that
all
are-
sort of
Yeah.
sitting ready to go, but it's a funny thing where, you know, you're on a show that takes so much of the year to film, and of course we're all so passionate about music that you don't want to just sort of put it out there and let it fizzle away. You want to put music out there and give it the support it deserves, and especially for, you know, for myself, music's been a massive part of my life, and it, so coming up with this next chapter, it's like, okay, now we may have some time to really, give it that weight. So yeah, I got some stuff ready to go, which just looking for like the green light, and I guess it's coming. So.
Right.
Yeah, I put out that EP a couple years ago, expecting to, you know, to tour on it and do a lot of work, and then shortly thereafter, I found out I was going to be a father.
Right.
And that nipped the whole touring thing in the
That's
butt,
not that. How is
Only
it
for a
being a
second.
dad?
You still-
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get any sleep.
Right,
but,
that's what you were saying.
Yeah. But I love it.
Yeah, that's great. Amber saying, Sam, how do actors with British accents change so easily to fit roles?
There's actually a little a chip now that you can use some plant behind your ear.
To flip the switch?
Yeah, it's a switch. How do British
He
actors...
can't reach it though, so he has to
Yeah, like
rely
Chris,
on
can you-
me. Okay, are you ready to
Hi,
start
man.
acting?
Whoops.
got
Oh,
it,
just
got it. There you
malfunctioned.
go.
No. It's funny. I did a theatre degree, a 3-year theatre degree in London, and a lot of that you know, we had weekly accent classes, and you work on different accents throughout that 3 years. So you you know, you do a Tennessee Williams play, you do a classic piece of American text, and spend months trying to hone your American accent. So I spent a lot of time working on it, and I think the training's great. You know, some of the London drama schools produce just incredible talent, and I do think, you know, there's a musicality to the American accents that I guess as a Brit you're tuned into as a kid watching a lot of American TV as well. So I think maybe being a musician made me pick up that sort of musicality to accents. So I've always kind of enjoyed doing them, and yeah, I hope I get away with it.
Right. Chris, can you do a Sam impression?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he can.
You don't want to do it for us?
I don't want to.
Let me just flip the switch.
Okay. Hello, mate. Cheerio. Jolly ho.
All right, that's not
Okay.
That's it. That was great.
Jolly ho. That's a new one. Jolly ho.
Hey man, you know, I like to experiment.
Just smash words together.
Do you guys know how the show ends? Have you seen the final
No,
scripts?
no
not
idea.
yet. No
It's
idea.
hilarious. We are 3 from the end. Chris and
Okay.
I don't think we're in the next episode, right?
No, we both.
So
yeah.
so we're not in the next one,
Okay.
which is like 13 or something for us. So then there's
Mhm.
there's 3 left,
Yeah.
and we haven't read them, so we ain't got them yet.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm eager
hopefully.
to see how it ends.
How
out,
would
yeah.
you,
Yeah.
if you were writing the show, how would you want to see your characters? You know, how would you like to see everything tied up?
Superpowers.
Superpowers.
Superpowers? Yeah.
For sure.
Just a total left turn.
Right. Put your powers together, you all
Rayna
fly off
resurrects.
stage.
Rayna comes back to life.
The phoenix with the.
Oh
hair.
yeah, oh, that would be good actually.
You know, we should make some calls. 'Cause
We
I think
should.
this is a viable.
Right. You're onto something. Nikita is saying, hotties, can you
was
say
Yeah,
hi
okay,
to
that was it.
Nikita is wondering if you can say hi to her, and Chelsea says, love you all.
Oh.
Hi,
Thank you,
Nikita.
Chelsea, and hi, Nikita.
Which one are we looking at? I'm looking at that one.
Oh, hi, Nikita.
Thanks for tuning
He
in.
always knows which camera to look at. I'm always.
Is there anything that you're going to take from set on the last day?
Well, it's kind of sad. They've started doing this this sale. So
Mm.
above
really?
we have yeah, it's like hey, you know, we've got our sets, and then
Nashville's on
we're in
sale.
this huge warehouse. So above there's another floor, which is almost like an IKEA of like
Really?
you know of sets and beds and couches and chairs and stuff. So that you know they started sending out these emails the last few weeks. They come up and you know come to the estate sale for Nashville. So you're like, oh man, so they, you know you can go around and purchase things, but there'll probably be. I'd love to know where all the guitars are going.
I was going to say,
yeah,
I
like,
think
there's a lot of
I've
cool
got my eye
music.
on,
Sure, yeah.
on sort
Gear
of
and
Will
drums and-
Lexington's guitar. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff. But
I'd love to try and
particularly,
take Gunner's.
you know,
I
the
don't know how
one-
that's going to work, but
yeah, the one like Will Lexington's guitar.
yeah.
Right.
Oh, Will Lexington's hat. You got to take that.
Oh, the hat.
Yeah, dude. You need
I don't know if
that.
I have room in my house for that hat.
That's a big hat. Yeah. So
I'll make room. You with a hat like that, you make room.
Right, you make room.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
you guys have earned it.
Yeah.
Jennifer asks, Sam, are you frustrated with on-again, off-again relationship with Scarlett?
You know, it's been a relationship that I guess we've done that for a while, that on again, off again, and I think I'm glad it's come to a point now where they're both moving in different directions, and that we're not doing that again for this final season. That they've both got a bit more clarity, and they've both got you know their own thing going on. I'm sure there's going to be some nice resolution at the end. I hope there will be.
Right.
That you know they can be friends and that they can be part of each other's lives, just not romantically. So. I don't know. Maybe there is some twist at the end that I
Right.
don't know about.
You don't know about.
But you know, it's. I think it's quite a reflective of how relationships go. You know, there's sometimes two people are just magnets to each other, and they can't seem to get it right. So it was. Yeah, it's been a good story to play.
Right. Do you think Juliette and Avery will get their happy ending?
Well, Juliette's off in Bolivia at the moment, isn't she?
Yeah,
So she's
right.
a bit
She's
distanced
distant,
from the
yeah.
relationship. But
I know there was a really powerful scene between the two of them at
Yeah,
the
it's
end
a
where she
beautiful
kind of
scene.
sends him away, and you know,
yeah,
it's heartbreaking to
so
see.
she's she's in a very new place, which is interesting to see, because Juliette's such a fiery character and full of diva drama,
Yes.
and so to see her very calm is kind of freaky. It's eerie. But I think that's a deep relationship. So I think there's definitely some sort of resolution coming.
Yeah. Sarah, Chris, are you more like your Nashville character or your OC character?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
A little bit of both. I think it depends on how much sleep I get.
Right.
I'm a little sleep deprived right now, so I'm a little less Will Lexington, a little bit more
Welcome to
grumpy
OC.
Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on a good day, I'm a little more Will Lexington.
Sure. Do you keep in touch with any of the cast from the OC?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah.
And it's just because, I was 23 when I had that job, and the job came to an end, and I thought, I'm just going to see these people all the
Right.
time, and I didn't make the effort I should have. And
None of them liked him.
guess
that's-
what? Turns out you don't see him that often. Although
Right.
Rachel came onto the show.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Recently last season,
was
and
cool.
and I got to catch up with her.
That's
and that
fun.
was fun.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's awesome. Looking back, do you have a favorite moment or a favorite scene from the show that you always go back to that you would want to relive over and over again?
God, there's so many. I mean,
The makeout scene on the couch.
The makeout scene.
The makeout scene on the couch.
No,
Duh.
I've always.
I knew you were about to say
Oh,
that,
sure.
so I just helped you out.
Thanks, man. No, I mean, Chris and I love working together, and
Right.
and so there's been so many great Gun and Will moments. I think we do talk about that way back season 2 thing when it was like
The jail scene.
with the jail scene and also like the campfire. When,
campfire
when you
scene,
run
yeah.
away into the woods, and there's a really nice sort of bonding moment where you see these two are really deep friends and they really care for each other.
Yeah.
I've always loved that relationship.
We did have that incredible 3-page scene that only half of it actually made it.
Oh, really?
And I was a little bummed about that. 'Cause we
Mm.
were, we put a lot of work into this big emotional scene. It turned out great anyway.
Yeah.
That was the
But
the jail thing. Is that what you're talking about?
No, this was the campfire scene.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
And there were a lot of ups and downs. There were laughter, tears, and of course, when it finally made the cut, it was just tears and tears and tears.
Oh,
and
no.
that was when you came to save Will. And
Yeah.
And then, but one of my favorites was that jail scene from season 2, from early on when we got in the bar fight.
Okay.
It was just such a simple, real moment. It was the first time I think Gunnar and Will had, it was the first time Will let his guard down and had an honest talk with anybody.
That's
Yeah.
right, and you talk about your dad or something,
Yeah.
don't you? Or
Yeah.
your family, yeah. So there's that. And then for me, I always got to throw in the Elton John duet that I got to do, like, season 4.
That's pretty cool.
Can't beat
Yeah.
that, really.
Yeah, there's no going down for that. All right, so I want to play a little game with you guys.
I can't compete.
No, you can't compete. So I want to play a little game called Know Your Nashville. So little country-related questions. So
Okay.
the first thing that pops to your mind,
Uh-oh.
what is your favorite country song?
Well,
There's a lot of good country.
there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of classics. It was supposed to be first thing that popped to my mind. For some reason, Brothers Osborne jumped to my mind. I love those guys. They're making some amazing music at the moment, and they've become sort of friends in the community. So it's always nice to support your friends. So their last record was awesome, and so "Ain't My Fault" is coming to my head at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've got a real downer, man. Real downer, but it just tugs on my strings, man. There's a song called "Either Way" that's on one of Stapleton's more
Okay.
recent records,
Uh-huh.
but it actually was, I think, originally recorded by Leanne Womack, and it's
It's a good one.
tugs on those.
What's it called?
When you need a good
Either
cry.
way,
Either way.
yeah. And I've heard it done at rounds at the Bluebird and stuff. It's just man, it's just like it's
Nice.
a
Nice.
tough
I'll have to take a listen. Cowboy hat or cowboy boots?
both.
You can say both.
Yeah, it'd be boots for me. Yeah, cowboy hat's a bit strange for an Englishman. I don't think I get away with that. I get away with some boots though.
Go- Keg beer or mint julep?
I like a mint julep.
I've had a mint julep at Steeplechase down
Oh,
in
yeah?
Nashville, watching the horses run, and That was good.
Yeah.
Out of a silver chalice.
Oh, look at you! You're so
know,
fancy.
pretty fancy.
He drinks his coffee out of silver chalices.
Right.
Well, no, I was down at Steeplechase, and that's what they do is they drink these mint
They
juleps
chase-
out
they
of
chase
out of
Chris
these like
Stapleton.
family heirloom
Steeplechase.
silver chalices. Yeah, exactly. and I was hanging out with these lovely people who I didn't know, and they offered me a chalice, and I started drinking it, and they were like, "You can walk, go wherever you want. You can just bring it back." I'm like, this is like a family
Right.
heirloom. But I
Like, all right.
walked around and
Did you
kept
bring it back?
No, of
No,
course I didn't.
yes. Grits or biscuits?
Ooh, biscuits.
Biscuits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Biscuits.
Miranda Lambert or Carrie Underwood?
Miranda. She's
I'll-
cool.
I'll-
I did a
I'll-
festival with her last year. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll go Carrie then, just so we get a little.
Spread
I
the
like them
love.
both.
Yeah. No, I
like
like
them
them both.
Oh yeah, definitely. Favorite honky tonk?
I think that's Roberts.
Roberts Western World.
Yeah. What's so great about that?
It just has, it's one of the last surviving sort of classic honky tonks where they do sort of traditional country and western music.
Nice.
As opposed to more the kind of the rest of the bars that do the pop country and what's on the radio and what's hip and what's, the cover bands are playing. It's very stripped back traditional fiddles and, and great honky tonky guitars and upright bass and I
And
don't think-
two-stepping and
yeah,
dancing.
two-stepping.
fun.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah.
bros
Yeah.
on a bachelor weekend. Like, yeah, I love this Luke Bryan song. It's like,
Right.
it's classic.
Nice. Jean shorts or jean skirt?
Oh right, it's like what do you prefer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not like
like,
what
I
you
haven't
prefer
worn.
wearing.
I haven't worn a
Last time I wore a
jean
jean
shorts in a while.
My jean skirt's in the wash.
Yeah.
Jean
We're
like
talking
shorts.
about what we'd prefer to see a
Yeah.
lady
Yeah.
wear.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I was confused. 'Cause I've seen you wear jean shorts, so he looks great. in
Right,
his
they're
jeans.
not. They're not like. They're not like the little short shorts.
Not like the little daisy
But I'd
dukes.
rather
The
see
Daisy
you
Dukes, yeah.
in a jean skirt, personally.
So would everybody.
Shorts.
go
I
for
like the
shorts.
shorts.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
shorts.
with shorts.
Shorts.
I'm gonna go
Okay.
with shorts.
All right. Couple more. Southern girls or northern girls?
Oh, come on. How can you?
Southern baby.
You get in trouble if you said that. Favorite Nashville food
Oh.
or restaurant?
Ooh,
Well, I'm a big fan of the 404 Kitchen, which is a place in the Gulch. We're not actually that new anymore.
Okay.
Well, I haven't been there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Favorite food. Okay. Where did we eat? That nice place to buy your house.
Oh, etc.
Se-
Yeah.
et
That's
cetera.
another fantastic
Yeah.
restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea.
I got a list as long as my
Right,
arm
I'm
of good
sure. You guys have
restaurants.
been to
Yeah.
them all. And last one, favorite Southern saying?
Favorite Southern saying.
Saying. Oh.
I have no idea.
No?
No. Can you
can't
give
think
us
of
some
any Southern-
examples? I'm trying to think of something.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I just.
I mean,
use-
y'all.
I use
Y'all.
y'all all the time now. Which
Do
I think
you?
is funny.
Yeah.
but I mean, I've heard so many great turns of phrase down there.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Yeah, like, you just need to go down to our
especially if you're hanging out with songwriters. Oh yeah.
like what would caveman?
I
say?
was just thinking, what
Yeah.
would caveman
We got
say?
this great guy who works down on the set called Caveman, who looks like a caveman, who's as southern as they come, and he comes out with some great one-liners that you
Yeah.
just straight out of films, you know.
But I
Look,
can't
I
think
can't
of
remember
any, I
what they
can't
are
think
right
of
now.
any
That's
right
so
now.
funny.
Yeah.
That's all right. Danielle,
Caveman, are you watching? Can you call in? and
He's
tell us what
probably
you'd say?
not
Yeah,
watching.
probably not.
Danielle is asking, with so many shows doing revivals, would you be interested in doing a Nashville reboot at some point?
Yeah, next year.
Next
How
year,
about,
yeah,
How
when
about we start up in September?
Uncancel us.
Yeah.
I think it'd be great. 10
Yeah.
years time. My
Oh,
goodness,
yeah.
We've all got beards and they're just fat. Never say never.
I've had so much fun on the show. I'd be happy for it to keep going, and
Yeah.
I'd certainly be happy to revisit it.
The Will and Gunner spin-off is what we all want to
Yes,
see, really.
totally.
Let's be
We
honest.
can
Let's
see
start
that.
that hashtag.
100%.
The Will and Gunner Show.
Yes, totally. Well, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming by. And for everybody, make sure you check out the final season of Nashville on CMT Thursdays at 9 p.m.
Yeah, check it
Thanks,
out.
guys.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thanks for
Bye.
tuning in.